Hi guys, Lucy aka The Watchbox Diaries here, and today's review comes in the form of a brand that is pretty close to home for me. So it is the lovely Beaucroft watches, who hail from Cambridge. Now they take inspiration from the city, and that is everything art, culture, engineering, history. So what better place to take inspiration from? Now to me, it is quite personal because I and a couple of others actually spearhead the Cambridge Red Bar meetups. So if you ever want to join in, head over to the Instagram. But yeah, this one's pretty close to me, so I'm excited about this one. Let's get into it. The guys at Beaucroft are Matt and Karim, and they are lovely people who have so much passion for the watch industry and the engineering. And although these guys haven't been around for too long as a brand, they are producing pieces, in my opinion, obviously, that have such fantastic attention to detail. You would think that they've been around for much longer. Hopefully in this video you'll pick up on a bunch of details that I have noticed. You might notice a couple of others yourself, but I fully appreciate how much effort has clearly gone into producing these pieces, and a lot of their heart and soul, which just makes me fall in love with the brand even more. So I have picked the Senate Eden Green. Now I very nearly went for the Cambridge Blue because it made sense to do that based on a Cambridge brand, but it wasn't my favourite colour. I do fully appreciate how much effort they went through to use this colour though, the Cambridge Blue, because you actually have to get permission from Cambridge University to use this specific shade. Now that is dedication to dedicating your watch brand. I love the shade of green, it's so good. And I also think the ombre was a really smart choice because it takes a dial that could be quite flat. There's a very simple design involved, but it takes that simple design and gives it some life and some depth with that sort of fading into black. I did mention that the case shape and the design are pretty simple, but that does not stop the details from showing. I love the fact that they have played with the textures in this piece. So you've got a bit of polishing, you've got a bit of matte, sandblasting, gives a bit more depth to the actual case shape itself. The logo on the crown, and also I don't know what the crown shape is called, but I really like it and it just makes it really easy to use. Flip the watch over as well, and they do have an open case back on this automatic piece, and the detailing that they have put on the rotor, to me, just makes me think this is attention to detail that a lot of watches at this price point don't think about. So it comes in at £375, and for an automatic watch with this level of detailing, I just fully appreciate, I think it's really good value. This is a bit of a weird one, and I might be alone in this, but when I got the strap out, I automatically could smell it. It was a really good smell, so I was a little bit weird and just sniffed the leather strap. It does take a little bit of wearing in, but that's pretty standard for watches. But yeah, I appreciated the smell of the leather too. So I wouldn't say I have gripes with this piece, just more personal preferences. One of those is the fact that this comes in at 40mm. I've got other watches that are 40mm and I absolutely love them. And this is actually branded as a unisex watch, which I love even more. But as a personal preference, I do think a 37 or a 30mm sizing would suit me more. So yeah, personal preference, but just downscaling it ever so slightly would help it sit better on my wrist, personally. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, the Pet Hates rant, I'm not a fan of having a book on a dial. It's just distracting. While this isn't a novel, I would have a preference as to the locations of the wording on the dial. They are symmetrical, so I appreciate that completely. But I think I could do without the automatic on the dial and possibly have the Cambridge sit underneath Beaucroft, just so it sort of simplifies the dial that little bit more and I can appreciate that gorgeous colour underneath. Okay, one more teeny tiny personal gripe is that I'm not a huge fan of gold elements on a steel dial. You should have known that from my previous pet hates video, obviously. But this isn't too bad. And it is, again, it is pure personal preference that for some reason it just doesn't sit well with me. Would I prefer this as an all steel with no gold on it at all? Yes. Do I think it's offensive? No, it works. They are really, really fine lines of the indices and the hand, so I can, like, it doesn't detract from the appreciation of the watch, if that makes sense. I do also quite like the fact that the markers at 12 and 6 are that shape, like the branding. It's just another little bit of attention to detail. That is it from me, people. All in all, very pleased, actually. I think for a sub £500 automatic piece, it's a fantastic option. I love how much passion they have for this, and the attention to detail, just those little, like those little elements, make me feel like they love this piece. They've really put their heart and soul into it. And again, that just makes me appreciate this watch and the brand so much more. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Am I barking up the wrong tree? Let me know in those comments down below. As always, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. Help a girl out. And if you've actually enjoyed this style of video, make sure you turn on that little bell to be notified of future videos. But until next time, people, bye.